welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so welcome. My name is Michelle Williamson. I am the owner of Pilates with Michelle and Williamson Wellness, and I am bringing to you Pilates Instructor Portal. With that instructor portal, we're going to be meeting every day. For me, I'm going to come in here and bring to you a quick tidbit of Pilates instruction that hopefully for a new instructor helps you basically class plan, find cues, give yourself grace, because we are, just like we tell our members and our clients, Pilates is not a perfect, it's a practice. You as an instructor, you're not a perfect, you're a practice also, and that's okay. It's okay, because we are not perfect people. That would be a boring world, and we want to learn and grow while we're basically bringing our passion to other people. If you're new to fitness instruction, as in you're completely new, you're a brand new Pilates instructor and you've taught nothing else in the background before this, welcome in. If you've taught for years and you're new to teaching Pilates, welcome in. Let's say you're new to group fitness. Maybe you teach bar, and this is kind of like you're thinking, maybe I might find my way into a Pilates world. This is a great one for you too. And for my personal trainers who have maybe dabbled a little bit in Pilates, know that their clients do better if they have a little bit of a Pilates practice in there. This is for you also. So there's a little bit of everything in there, and I do that because I bring forward myself. So this is the very first one of these, and I am, like I said, Michelle Williamson, and I have been in this business for 34 years. I have been in and around fitness, teaching fitness for 34. Have I taught only Pilates for 34? No. Have I taught only water for 34? No. Have I taught only group fitness for 34? No. I have taught in and around fitness for 34 years. So this being the first one, I'm going to give this one as a who am I? Who is Michelle? And my story will just continue to be played out. However, in this first one, I'll dive a little deeper into just a little, I don't think those two work together, but there you go. That's a little bit of me. My head goes this way and then my head goes that way. Okay, so if you're with me so far, 34 years. I was 17 when I had my first certification. I was a military and Air Force brat. My dad was active duty Air Force for 28 years. And my senior year of high school, so I got into fitness about my junior year of high school. I found our gym on base. We lived in Germany, and our gym on base offered an aerobics class. And we would go to the community center and we would buy monthly passes to this, and you'd pick either 2 or 3 days a week or 5 days a week, and then they had it twice a day. They had it at 9 a.m. and they had it at 5:30 p.m. I think, or 5 p.m. or something like that, 4:30. I don't remember what it was. I just remember waiting after school, and I'd walk over to the community center and I'd work out, and then my dad would pick me up on his way home. He'd pick me up, and then we'd go home and I'd have dinner, and there you went. So this was very, very first into really any kind of fitness. A lot of people ask, was I a cheerleader? Did I do athletics in high school? No, that was not my thing. I just wasn't me. And that's okay. I had other activities that I was part of, but I found this and I really, really, really just fell into it. So junior, senior year of high school, that's where I find myself. The people that were offering these classes, ACE, AFA, all the things that were coming about, that were creating these certifications at home in the States, weren't yet necessarily overseas. And so these two gals, there were a lot of people teaching at these different bases all around Europe, and they noticed that a lot of the folks that were teaching were doing it on a volunteer basis without a whole lot of background as far as the education into teaching people fitness. So they offered a weekend course, and I decided I wanted to try. So I dabbled into it. I took the course, and this is back, I'm telling you, this is back when we used to not have regular fitness music. that was pre-recorded and pre-set into certain count beats, all that kind of stuff. So we used to have to sit there and we'd listen to music and we'd count out the eights and we'd count out all of the different rhythms of the classes. It was crazy. And I could grapevine all day long if you'd like me to. That was the cornerstone of the grapevine world. Double grapevine, triple grapevine, oh yeah, all that stuff. We had big gyms. Anyways, so found my way in there and then went to school and to college and found my way into what was called corporate industrial fitness. Corporate industrial fitness, ladies and gents, corporate industrial fitness. They didn't know what to call us. Exercise science people, they didn't know what to call us. My degree is actually exercise science. I have a minor in nutrition, and since then I've had personal training certification, I've had water certification, TRX certification, cycling, bar. I have Yoga Fit level 1, so I am enough to basically come in and sub a yoga class. My Pilates, I'm comprehensively trained in Pilates, so that's my big dude. He's my big one. He's my big one. He's the, if you have somebody who is Pilates comprehensively trained in your life, use them as a resource, because the amount of education that is poured into them and what they have to do to maintain and own that comprehensive, it's a lot. So when you do something like that, the passion comes through, right? And I'm trying to think right now if I'm missing, I know I am. I've worked my way into Les Mills, so I've done pre-choreographed kind of exercises as classes such as body pump, and then I've also done MOSA. I've done this cool thing called Viper. I love that bad boy. Anyways, and then obviously all your step classes and your BOSU classes and your slide classes and just all those things over the years that we have taught in different styles on group fitness schedules. Personal trained thousands of clients, many clients, and here I am. So I work at home in my studio at home, my virtual studio. Welcome to my virtual studio. I have a reformer, I have a chair, I have lots of little pieces of equipment that I use to bring on-demand classes. Then from there, I also teach at our local Club Pilates here in Omaha. And I'm teaching probably about 15 hours a week or so, maybe a little bit more than that on sub weeks and on Saturdays when I teach which I teach a lot of Saturdays. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm a mama. I have 3 kiddos. My oldest is a second-year teacher, English teacher in high school. Crazy. My second one is about to graduate from college, music education. Not quite sure how I created 2 teachers, other than the fact that I teach like this, but I'm not a teacher by trade in that regard, like an educational teacher as in school focused. And my husband's a pilot in the Air Force, or was, he's retired. And then my littlest, our youngest, she's not a little, she's a freshman in high school, and she is telling us from the get-go that she is not real sure that she is going to go to college, and she really wants to find something that works better for her. School's kind of not her thing, and that's okay. She has many other little places where she loves to hang out. 2 yellow labs, 2 crazy kitties that are my daughters, my youngest, and my husband, we've been married for 26 years, got married in 96, and he is recently retired. He retired back in that COVID world, May of 20. So unfortunately he didn't get the full retirement ceremony, but he was 28 years also. Was he 29? I'll have to do the math again. Anyways, and he's now working with a company. He works with a company that provides contracts to military bases. And there you go. So that's the story of my life. Not really, but that's the very skimming surface of it. And I really hope that you'll come back and learn one cue that I'm going to give you today that I hope that helps you, and hopefully you'll just keep coming back for more. One cue that I would give you is think like somebody who's in the class would maybe think. So when you're teaching, take a moment to think about how it feels in your own body and translate that to words. So I use a lot of examples that are outside of, say, the muscles, because it is a rare day that you're going to find somebody who knows where their serratus anterior is, even though we want them to use it. Their transverse abdominis, even though we want them to use it. So I find all sorts of other ways to get them to engage in those things. And one of the ways is in a plank, I'll give them these examples. The head grows long from the crown of the head to the heels. You feel yourself let the shoulder blades melt down the back, almost as if you're watching the ice cream melt down the outside edges of the ice cream cone. Relax the neck and relax the tongue. It sounds weird, but underneath the armpits where those ribs are, try to draw those ribs down to the outside of those hips. Find that belly button and hold, almost like you're holding a marble in the belly, and try not to let that marble go. There's a stream of water going underneath you and a stream of water going above you. You're trying to keep right in between the two streams and keep your body from getting wet. Squeeze your glutes, those are your tushes. Squeeze those up. And then the quads, the front of your thighs, squeeze those. And then imperceptibly, so a small little press back into your heels. Inhaling and exhaling, try not to forget your breath. And then as you're exhaling here, relax back into your knees, shifting back into child's pose. And release. There you go. So that's a very, very small way I get into plank. I have other little cues, tips, things that we'll be talking about over the course of I'm just glad you're here. So here we go. So that was 12 minutes long. Good job. And we're just going to keep that 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes I make it on here for a longer spiel, and if I do, I'll let you know from the get-go. I'm just super glad you're here. Remember to breathe. Remember to center your focus. Give yourself grace. And find your passion. It'll come through, I promise. If you have a passion for what you're doing, it will come through. So thanks so much for coming in, and spread the word, share it around, and if you haven't, click subscribe, and if you haven't, drop me a note, and let's get you connected into my newsletter. Have a great day. Bye.